One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, how come you're all left?
Why am I muted?
You're also all left.
One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Hello.
Something weird's going on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I just turned my volume up. It was all the way down for some reason. One, two, one, two, one, two.
Something weird's going on with your sound's coming out all left.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. I have to wiggle some wires to figure out why. Okay.
One, two, one, two. Am I left leaning?
You're left leaning, but I don't know why or whose fault it is. I can fix it by doing that for now. We'll just do that because I don't have time to deal with this shit right now. But we are live, and I don't know if everyone gave up on us or not, but that's okay. Oh, you know what I should do? I should let people know in the Discord that we were talking about. Oh, and the Discord closed because my computer... This software I have that allows me to make totally legit and legal backup copies of my Blu-ray discs that I buy with my own money. Fuck you, MPAA. Copyright law allows it. Deal with it. An update came through, and I said, yes, put that update on. And then it says, oh, this update will require a reboot before you use the software. And it gave me one button that was okay. And I took that to mean I click OK, and I know that I need to reboot at my convenience, because to give me a button that says OK that gives you no option but to disrupt everything I have running right now would be morally would be immoral, would be wrong, would be unethical. And I clicked OK, and my computer rebooted. Which
Must be Windows.
Which was obviously where this is going.
Is that Windows 11?
Well, no, it was a third-party software. It wasn't, as I was saying, this piece of software.
But the system is Windows 11 rather than Linux?
The system is Windows 11, but Windows had nothing to do with it. The third-party software said, hey...
decided to reboot you.
We're not going to give you the option to do it later. So the point is that I don't have Discord set to automatically open because I rarely use it, so I've not even... Here's the thing. Mondays, I am not used to going into the office. So when I come home from the office on a Monday, I am completely not in the same headspace of a little bit of dinner and get ready to do the show. So I am just completely off my element here. Absolutely and completely off my element here. So, no, I didn't even think about it until you texted me. Like, hey, dude, what's up? And so here I am. And we're gonna start up the sounds. We're gonna let people on that server. Where's that server?
Warhawk is on now. Hey, Warhawk.
Hello, Warhawk. Apparently, this NHB archive thing is growing into some unique streaming thing that they're coming up with a name for. Although, I think it's really I don't know. I think it's really cool that anyone streaming things and fans of NHB are all cool things. I don't think Damon's ever coming back though to streaming. He seems to feel like it is the political climate is such that it would be a problem. But I think he is kind of full of it.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
But full of it with that opinion, not full of it in general. I mean, but it's also a valid concern to have. What if you do something stupid like go to a Coldplay concert while having an affair out in public, surrounded by people
it was
with cameras?
That whole story was very bizarre because people were talking it very generic. I had to actually dig in to see What the hell was that about?
It's
Oh,
bizarre, the
they,
memes and the
this
level
guy
and
was
how deep
yeah,
it's going. It is very
sure.
bizarre. Very
Well, the
bizarre.
guy, the guy resigned and whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I don't even know who he is or who his company is.
No, yeah.
Apparently, they're involved in AI.
I also don't like really
So he
care,
was
but
using Ion and making his decision, right?
what's that? Yeah.
Although the CEO of NVIDIA thinks he can get rid of everybody and have AI run the business. I'm sorry, who's going to be there to fix the fucking AI when it craps out? Right?
Right. Anyways, we should open the show. So once again,
Should we ask AI to open the show for us?
well, since we are running late, we'll actually do a proper show opening and let people know that they are listening to
Insert title here.
the show that chases A so frequently. We put a placeholder in, and there's our audience. And I am
Nobody
here.
has paid, no, nobody has bought the placeholder yet.
I am here. Brian is here, and like 1,000
War Rocket-
memes
War-
about Coldplay are here. When's the last time Coldplay was in the like public culture of what's going on?
that probably did them really good.
Yeah, it's like wait,
You know,
they're
I
still
couldn't
touring?
recognize Coldplay from Hank Williams.
well, they had one good song.
Did they?
Yeah. Do you even know what their big hit was?
Again, I have no idea.
So you could not hum me a Coldplay song. Is
Not a note.
okay.
Is that one?
They may have used that note in one. Let's see. I believe. Let me see if I can find that.
Did you have a tuner on there to see if I was sharp or flat?
No. I don't. No. Their big hit was 2002's Clocks. Now I don't know if they've had any bigger hits since then, or I know they've had other songs since then, but
No, I'm gonna have to Wikipedia them.
for
And
some
then I realized, holy shit, I do know who they are.
well, we would be listening to Clocks right now if the version of Winamp I used to record to stream capture wasn't conflicting.
Oh, it's a British rock band. See, I didn't even know that. See,
Yeah, it was. This was the Coldplay song that kind of put them on the map. There, it's 2002's Clocks. That just kind of repeats these arpeggios throughout the, which is a nice groove. Heck, I have a copy of it on my hard drive, don't I?
it is kind of. Hey, they even have a filmology. Now, the interesting thing is that just as the scandal broke about this idiot
Yeah.
that forgot to use AI, even though apparently his company does AI,
He should have asked AI, how do I get out of this? How do I spin the story? How do I kill the
Exactly.
momentum? How do I use this for profit?
No, I think he was sunk.
Yeah,
Um,
not even AI could save.
But the funny thing is, at the same time this broke, Jeremy Clarkson and one of his buddies went to his Coldplay concert, and they were, "Hey, this is fantastic!" Unless they were being sarcastic about the scandal that broke.
I don't know. I don't know. I never liked anything else I heard from them after this, but this song was really good for the first 25 times I heard it. And then they kept playing it. But it's a fun little retro track to bring up now and then. Think back to the 2000s when I was younger.
You have to go to a different.
And I had hair.
You have to go to a different page to get their full list because they just have.
So first, I want to get to.
So a list of singles. Brothers and Sisters, Shiver, Yellow, Trouble, Don't Panic, and what was that one called?
Clocks.
Oh, Clocks. That's way down the list.
So I do need to
Unless they have
So I do
released
need
a
to
bunch of
start sharing
signals
news.
that bumped, you know.
So I do have news to share.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember last week we were talking about how there's the NHB archive site and they have a YouTube and all that. Well, I've started like reaching out to a few people that I haven't, and one of them, it's kind of a coincidence that I reach out to him at the same time as this is happening, because the reason I reached out to Damon was because Damon was recently in the hospital. He's back home now. But
Oh.
if people have not been following the latest with Damon on Facebook, Damon's given me the okay to share this after I talked to him. And I'm just going to read verbatim his announcement that he posted about this on his Facebook page. Hi, everybody. I wanted to post the latest news of my situation. Unfortunately, the news is not great. The long and short of it is that my kidneys are 90% dead and I will eventually need a kidney transplant. I will be on dialysis for the foreseeable future. That being said, the doctor tells me I can still work and live a somewhat normal life, which for some strange reason made me feel better about the situation. Not entirely sure what caused this. The theory is that it might have been related to hypertension. So the lesson learned here is stay connected with your doctors and get physicals often. I could have prevented this if I had done that, but it is what it is, and here we are. The doctor did not seem too worried about it, which made me feel a lot better. I'm pretty beat up and sore right now from having a catheter put in my neck, but at least it's not cancer. That was my biggest fear. Please continue to keep your fingers crossed and pray for me. And if you have a spare kidney to donate, I won't say no, LOL. And then he posted yesterday, latest update. The good news is that I am out of the hospital and home finally. The bad news is I am still going to be on dialysis for the foreseeable future. I now also have to get used to a new diet, and I'm going to be taking lots of medication, so I'll be making the pharmaceutical companies happy. This is definitely going to take some adjustment and getting used to, as my whole life has been changed and turned upside down from this. But hopefully I can at least stay out of the hospital going forward. I do not know when, as of yet, I will be back to work or will be able to play a band gig at this time, but all I can do is take 1 minute at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and hope for the best. But at least I am home for now. I guess we have to start somewhere. I would like to acknowledge and thank all of you who sent me messages and well wishes. Especially want to thank Maggie for her endless running around on my behalf despite her own issues. Could not get through this without you. I'm not sure who that is and probably didn't need to read that whole thing. But anyways, yeah, so that is what happened. So Damon will be on dialysis for the foreseeable future and will be on the kidney transplant list.
Do we have any idea how often does he go in for dialysis?
3 days a week, 3 times a week.
3 days a week? Okay.
Yeah, 3 times a week is because I talked to him on the phone. I asked him about that, talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's going to need
kind
to
of screws up your schedule.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're pretty much locked into that, you know, so that.
Exactly.
But I think what one thing we need to. Oh, man, I can't find the right button right now. I messed up this button. I thought I had. Oh, here we go. But I think the main thing that we need to take away from all this is that this year on the NHB Telethon, we will be accepting kidneys as donations. So please gather all your spare kidneys up for the upcoming telethon. And we won't even turn away the Gimp if he wants to line up and donate his kidney.
Do we have any idea on how to match a kidney up?
How to what?
You have to get the right kidney. Not only blood type, but I think there's other factors.
Well, we'll figure that all out. We'll go through the donations and we'll and we won't even turn away the Gimp.
You make the donation and you kind of go, oh, you've been rejected. What?
You know, just think, if the Gimp is a match and he donates a kidney to Damon, like what percentage of the human body is a kidney? Is that like, up 2%, 5%? So would that make Damon like 5% Gimp if that happened? I mean, that was that was what we joked about on the phone. So we had a nice, good laugh about that.
Sure.
Which is good that we were in good enough spirits that he could make. I think he was one that said, "Oh, with my luck, the Gimp would be donating the kidney." Which it's like, hey, kidney's a kidney,
and it's a perfect match, right?
What's that?
And it'd be a perfect match.
Yeah, with his luck, the perfect match would be that. Well, anyways, in all seriousness,
Sure.
If he were to donate, that would be a huge thing not to mock. But anyways, so that's
Well, I
the
know
latest.
a woman that runs a ukulele group,
Mhm.
and she goes in for dialysis.
Right.
So yeah, that sucks.
It does.
And
But
so
it
sometimes
beats the alternative.
a jam session that she can't attend, so somebody else has to lead it.
Yeah.
No.
And after that, I gave Video Vamp a call and left him a voicemail. And then he texted back because he was going to see a client. And he's like, hey, how late you staying up? And I'm like, heck, I'll be up to midnight. He's like, okay, I'll let you know when I'm done with the client. And he gave him a call. And we had a good, we hadn't talked in a while. And we're
Were you two
good
guys
friends.
out on the total outs? I forget.
no. I was never on the outs of Vamp.
You just haven't talked to him in a while.
We just kind of, like when I was in Maine, I mean, Vamp was a listener and a fan of the network, and he was still a listener when I started my show. In fact, he started his show. His first show was the same day as my first to last show on NHB, because I did my quitting over the chat room drama thing the same day that Vamp did his first show. And so then Vamp and I, and then Vamp took my time slot. But I kept my time slot over on a different network. And so Vamp and I actually went up against one another at the same time. And I wasn't too happy about that. I was like, damn it, Vamp, you took my time slot. And, but on the other hand, I couldn't get too mad about it. But the cool thing about that was that allowed us to do the interstation chug every week. But Vamp and I were pretty good. Well, we're still good friends. We just don't talk as much as we used to. But right. I mean, through Maine, he helped me through some rough times. The whole Lisa fiasco was not a pleasant time in my life and had me up late at night, fretting over things that were not worth fretting over. And he talked me off a ledge, not literally, just figuratively crazy. He spent many late nights on the phone with me back then. And so it was really great to catch up with him after not really. He's called in the Dune show. I think we've called him on Dune show a few times and caught up a little. But me and Vamp haven't really had a conversation probably since I moved out here, because I hung out with him a few days when I drove back east. So it was really good to just kind of catch up on the latest going on in his life and the latest going on in my life and things like that. We had a really good phone call. I was really, really glad I called. But the main reason I wanted to call Vamp is since we have this NHB archive community that's like into old school NHB, I thought it'd be cool to try to bring some old NHB staff members as guests onto the show for maybe some old rehashing of past NHB times and maybe Q&A, kind of a little bit of, hey, let's take a look back at what we've done. Hey, let's answer anyone's questions. So I just want to give you a heads up. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're going to have Vamp on the show as a guest at some point.
That's good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And we might even let Brian unmute his microphone for a few questions.
No, like last week, it was a good show, but I'm not into all that background.
No, I know that kind of sucks for you.
You would have better off brought in one of the guests to chat with us.
And it would be cool to still have you here because now a conversation with someone.
The other guy, not just you.
Well, more along the lines of
as I just did.
You could ask him questions rather than just listen to the same old sound effects that you don't really get.
Well, I get a lot of them, but not everything, because you use a lot of things repetitively until you lose them. Fluffy Kitty. Mod Pro.
Yeah, well, she shout out Fluffy Kittens. What's Fluffy Kittens? Is someone named? Okay.
I didn't see.
Oh, did we get a raid? See, I don't have alerts for things, but if we got a raid, oh my god, thank you.
Apparently. Wee hew.
I didn't fix. What do you need me to fix?
I see. So when you go to
I-
the actual show rather than on StreamYard,
Uh-huh.
you go, we got a raid from Fluffy Kittens.
Well, hello, Fluffy Kittens, and thank you for the raid. That is awesome. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
we're up to 14 people now. Is that a record?
That is a record. Maybe we need to find. All right. So if we were to have a raid alert, what would be a good raid alert? Maybe we use the wacky horn. No, that doesn't seem grandiose enough. Maybe the Andrew. No, because raids are good. We don't want to scream about the raids, right? Do we want to maybe? No, that might piss off some people. Let's maybe the Neo roar to kind of announce the. No, I don't. We need a good alert. Hey, you know what? People like turkey, right?
You got the turkey?
We could just, play the you got the. These sound effects make no sense out of context. I think we got about 14 people that are like, "What in the heck did we just raid?" But I'm Johnny, and that's Brian.
Purge Siren. For Rampage, don't it? Whatever. I can't read that shit.
Let me try reading.
Siren you should use.
Oh, the puking sound from NHB or the birthday song. Hello, Zoe.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
Vamp saying that he'll toss a salad. That would be a good sound effect. Or heck, we could have Brian questioning terminology he's unfamiliar with.
What is a FAP?
We had to educate Brian on slang for masturbation once on this show.
Yeah, that's right. I had to think, what the hell was that again?
Salad.
There it is.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's what we're gonna do when we get a raid.
Is
we'll
that
have the raid
the
alert.
same as upchucking a salad?
Oh my god, do we have to educate Brian again?
Uh-oh.
Are you familiar with the terminology of a rim job? Because that could also be called tossing the salad. No. Okay, you don't know either of those. Let's just say you might not want to put your mouth on that. So, hey, maybe we do. You're listening to the radio. We could use that as our alert, baby. I don't know. I think I just killed the vibe of the show right now. Dude wants to know if that's a basketball reference. Yes, it is. It is absolutely, because people used to play basketball with a cabbage if you were too poor to have a ball. So if you hit the rim, you were tossing the salad. That is exactly
that makes sense even.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it make sense? Gators actually saved the show this time.
Now, does it have to be cabbage, or could it be lettuce? Lettuce.
It could be lettuce, but I think cabbage would hold together better than lettuce, especially if you try playing basketball with romaine lettuce. I don't think that's going to work at all. It's just not round. The leaves go flying everywhere. Then you're really tossing a salad, and no one likes their salad tossed like that. But yeah. So that is exactly what Vamp was referring to.
I will toss a salad.
He said that literally right before running out the door to go play some basketball, shoot some hoops with the neighbors across the street.
I see.
Or maybe we could just use the sound effect when people raid to let them know where the show is heading, like...
Yes. I had a feeling, actually, when you're talking about rim shot, you're talking about that. Obviously, I know what the basketball reference would be, but
right.
This is a modern age, right?
This is a modern age. You might have to start Googling about.
Or I think it's actually postmodern.
Postmodern.
I mean, modern was when we landed on the moon.
Oh, was that? Isn't that retro now?
Well, that was mid-century modern.
Mid-century modern is living on the moon?
Well, going to the moon.
Going to the moon.
Armstrong, Aldrin.
I'm familiar with the names. They
Yes.
came up in
Just in
history
case
class.
somebody that was listening didn't know the names, which is okay. You don't have to. You probably didn't watch it live like I did.
You did. I didn't. Now, did you tape it though? Because I think they lost the original tapes. So if you were hit and record that night, that you might.
You know,
Wanna
we
give
didn't
NASA a
have
call.
tape machines then.
Of
Well, we
course
did
you
have-
didn't.
We did have audio tape machines.
Besides, those would be the low quality that they already had. I think it's like the original film. They couldn't find the original films, and they're getting ready to decommission the last machine that be able to play them. So it's like, oh my God, we got to find these moon landing tapes to convert them before we decommission this machine. I think someone ended up having them, and then there was talk of negotiating for money. These are multiple articles I've read while sitting on a
But what-
toilet,
what-
so I might
what
have
did
a
they-
lot of that wrong.
What did they take that in?
I don't
I mean,
know.
it was film, right?
some kind of format of some sort. No, I don't think. It was
the content would
film.
be 16 millimeter, 32
Well,
millimeter.
there was some transmission being sent back, and I think there was
Yes.
some capture of that. But the TV transmissions were literally a TV camera pointed at a screen. But the point is, they had some kind of archive tape that was the actual
So it was an
original
analog
feed,
video image.
some kind of analog video format that they had that would be way superior to the TV recordings that are archived that were literally a camera pointing at a screen.
Right.
So that was what was lost, but I think someone might have had them, and there was some negotiation of money, but I lost track of that story years ago. So I and like I said, that was toilet reading is what that was. So it all comes back to the toilet.
Your library.
Yes. But and then once you flush, you kind of like, well, that was a waste of my time, and put the phone in your pocket and forget about it until something jogs your memory. Like, oh yeah, I was reading about that moon tape thing. But anyways, what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about something. Well, how was your week, Brian?
Okay, the whole jury thing was interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You had potential jury duty.
When we we started the call, I says I got to be in late because I have to call about my jury duty service.
Right.
And then the answer was
Call again
actually I
tomorrow.
called a couple of times, but it would hang up right away.
Ooh.
So the other idea is go to the website and there's the information. Here's your badge number. Oh, I have to call between 11 and 12 to see what my next step is.
Right.
I did that, and it says, yeah, you need to show up at 1.
Oh, nice.
I have about a half hour to get ready because it's a flippant hour to drive to Richmond. Okay.
The
Richmond,
earliest they would tell you need to be somewhere at 1 is 11. They only give you 2 hours to get ready and get your
Right.
happy ass there.
Right.
And that's assuming
Had
you
enough time
called.
to pee and put my
Right.
shoes on. Right. That's about it. Anyway,
In that
so
order.
drove out there, and I went through security. I looked at my watch, and it was like 2 minutes late.
Oh,
And then so I go into the assembly room, which was probably another minute. So maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. There was one woman that was in there, and then this guy. Okay. I sat down for about 30 seconds. There were nobody on the court staff there. So, what the hell's going on here? I
Hurry
go
up
to
and
the
wait.
kiosk where you're supposed to check in. That was turned off.
oh,
Okay. The other kiosk had a piece of paper on it, and I forget what it said. There was another note that, you can go to room 130 to talk to our clerk about your jury service.
okay.
So I thought about it for a little bit, and I says, I'm going to go to room 130. What the
Right.
hell? I mean, this is stupid, just sitting here doing nothing.
Exactly.
10 minutes or so had gone by. So I went to room 30, and there's a kiosk there to get a ticket.
Okay.
Okay. So you go through the list of what the reasons are. Let's see. I'm going to criminal court. No. I'm going to a civil court. No.
No.
I'm going to pay a traffic ticket. No.
No.
I mean, all these, none of them had to do with a jury.
Oh.
Well, that's stupid. So I just
Bummer.
walk in the door, hey, be bold.
What could go wrong? Random door in the courtroom,
And there was,
uninvited.
not the courtroom, this was the clerk's office.
Okay.
But anyway, you go up and there are actually a number of windows. So if there's a person behind one of the windows, you talk to that person.
Right.
And one of the 4 windows had a person. So I talked to the person and she says, yes, give me your badge. I need your number. Okay, you're dismissed. Yay. Good news.
You
Great.
had to drive an hour out to the courthouse to find out you're dismissed.
Correct. In
Why
fact,
did they
after
call
that-
you in for that?
After that, well, there were, so there were probably 30 numbers.
Okay.
Okay. About 12 were dismissed immediately, but a bunch of us were to come in. And I suspect because there was only one other person, there was the woman and then the guy. Oh, and before I went to the room, the guy had left.
Mm.
I have no idea what he was doing.
Okay.
Maybe he was to seeing how many dumb people were sitting there still. Anyway, so there was only one person left. I went to talk to the lady. I was dismissed. And I said, well, rather than be the bad guy, let me tell that one woman that, go to this, follow me to the office. I'll show you where to go. Chances are you'll be just dismissed. So you'd have to sit here,
Right.
So anyway, I went into the assembly room and there were like 5 additional women sitting with the one that was there. So as I told them all, like, why don't you all follow me? And I'll tell you what to do because, there's nobody here. So I did that. Being the good guy turned a stupid thing. My mission in life was to tell other people the good news about their jury service. So
one of those missionaries out there spreading the good news to all the masses.
Right. You're dismissed.
Yes.
Anyway, so I took the positive out of that. And so that was my mission.
All right. You're on a mission from God. Spread
Right.
the good news.
So did I take a short story and make it long?
I think you did. I
Holy shamoly.
You
People
pulled
are
it
going,
off.
let's see, and how many people do we are listening to that still?
Now,
We're down to 6.
now, I got to tell you something. You know what's great? What's great is when you stumble upon a holy grail listed with a buy it now price on eBay from a seller that has no clue what they have. Isn't that just the greatest thing?
Wow. Why would a person do that?
Sometimes people don't know what they have and they just throw a number on there that like for example, let's say you decided that you were getting bored in your retirement and you wanted to try flipping a storage locker, go bid on storage.
Go to like Storage Wars.
Right.
Bid on a locker.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because that's fake. You would do it for real. You'd not go to a real.
Well, no, those things
storage-
really happen.
Yeah, well,
That show is fake for sure.
yes.
They plan something in there to make it look interesting.
That is fake. What you would do would be real. Now, I read an article about someone that did it for real just to write the article, and it was actually very sad because what you're really bidding on is someone's life possessions and hopes and dreams that have gone up in smoke because of financial hardship, and now you're, flipping the things that they might actually want back for a profit.
And I have
it's kind of a depressing.
I have a cousin that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked his sister, by the way, he had a lot of photographs and stuff and photo equipment. What happened to him? And she goes, they were all in a storage locker and he stopped paying for it, apparently.
Right.
So it was all lost.
Well,
that sucks.
I actually watched a YouTube video where someone, basically for educational purposes and for a video topic, decided we'll go to a storage locker auction. We'll try to purchase a storage locker. But then their whole thing was we're not going to sell it for profit. We're going to find we're going to go through the stuff. It'll be content to see the things that we find in a random storage locker that we buy. And then, we'll find some place to donate the things to try to make this, a good uplifting video. Unfortunately, as they're halfway into this process of going through and cleaning up this locker and looking at the stuff, they realize that this was no happy story. And
Sure.
unfortunately, a lot of the stuff did get donated before they were able to try to track down the original owner of the locker, but they were able to give some of those things that they got in that locker back to the original family, because the original family was actually trying to get the storage locker company to hold on to the stuff a little longer for them to get some money together, and they did want that stuff back. And it's heartbreaking to think that so much of it was just lost before the people that bought this figured that out. But at least they actually made an effort in the. But that's not.
But that's still a good story that some of the stuff got back to the family.
Yeah, some of it. I mean, it's better than and they got nothing. You know, it's a better ending than they got nothing. They got something back. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel there.
Well, like a fellow I know, he's a bass player, and his brother was a bass player. The brother had this nice bass that he had at a pawn shop.
Okay.
And the brother passed away, so he was attempting to come up with the money to buy this bass back from the pawn shop. I don't think that ever happened.
That's sad when that.
You know, it just kind of sucks. You know, it would have been just. I mean, sentimental. I mean, I think he had plenty of.
But to get back to the topic.
Oh, so you had somebody that bought something.
Well, I don't even know. This is hypothetical, but let's say you.
I thought you said someone did buy something, buy it now on eBay from you.
The backstory here is hypothetical. We'll get to the real story. Because you're like, why would anyone do that? And now I'm explaining why would anyone do that.
Okay.
I'm answering your question, Brian, because we're making a long story longer. I'm trying to outdo you, Brian.
Absolutely.
So let's say
see. Now we're up to. Well, we got 7 people, so someone else joined us.
Some of them, okay. We
came back.
We retained some listeners. That's nice.
Right.
That's nice. We lost about half the crowd once we started talking about cabbage.
Any followers?
If we did, thank you for the follow. I need to turn on alerts or things. I'm still like in the whole this is an alternate to audio streaming mentality, is what I am. But thank you again. I see Fluffy Little Kittens wrote in hi you lot. Wow, that back when I was busy talking about salad, I think is. Oh yeah, no, I think I got all the messages. All right, so Brian, why would someone throw a low buy it now price on a holy grail? And I'm just going to lay this out as a completely plausible, reasonable, sane situation. So you decide I'm bored with this whole retirement thing. I think I'll go try to flip a storage locker for profit. And you go and you bid on a storage locker and you find maybe an old lamp and a shaggy couch and maybe some things of electronics, whatever, and you're like, oh God, now I gotta find boxes and sell all this stuff on eBay. And so you go through item number 27, which is some piece of audio equipment labeled JVC, and I'm out of town, so you can't call me to ask me what this is. And you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll throw a $200 buy it now on eBay and see if anyone bites, and I'll just lower it down by $50 every few weeks if it just sits there and does nothing. And the next thing you know, it disappears like that, and you're like, woohoo, $200 for a random piece of audio equipment from the 70s. I made a killing on that. That is what you would think. Isn't that what you would think there, Brian?
One would think.
Yes, and that is why I was able to buy the mythical, legendary JVC CD450 quadraphonic disc demodulator for $200. How much does it normally sell for? It doesn't. It doesn't. This is the only time in my entire time on eBay I have ever seen one of these go up on eBay.
Ooh.
I have a similar, slightly lesser model that I had imported from Japan that I paid like $500 or $600 for. Because the guy who sold me that one said, you'll never find a CD450, but I can get you a CD410. So
sell the other one back to that guy that in Japan.
Oh,
one.
I tried selling it a while ago because I haven't been using it, and it's like, man, if I could get $500 or $600, I could buy something that I actually have use for. But it's one thing for it to be worth that. It's the other thing to find the other person that will pay that for it. The
Absolutely.
CD450,
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident I could get 500 for easily. The CD410's a little harder to get
And
500
and it
for.
works 100%.
Unfortunately, I don't know that it works 100% because CD4 disc demodulators are one of
Oh,
those.
excuse me.
Bless
I
you.
missed the mute button.
CD4 disc demodulators are one of those types of audio equipment that very few people know how to use them, even if they have a working turntable. So the person knows that it turns on, the person knows that it lights up, the person knows nothing about decoding quadraphonic records on it. So that is so I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk paying $200 for, even if it's broken, I could probably get my $200 back if I
Right.
want to sell it to someone else that wants to try to fix it up.
That's one thing I don't like about eBay is that sometimes the condition is completely unknown or they lie. And sometimes sometimes they'll say, oh, this is for parts because they just don't want to deal with any
Right.
issues.
Right. The
No
ones that are-
returns, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and that is tricky. What I hate is the people that say it turns on, but I'm selling it for parts because I just don't know. And it's like, do you really not know, or like could you test it some? But I mean, the thing is that I get it. I would hate.
Well, and you know,
To sell things like that.
vintage lenses, a person says, I can't test it. I'm sorry, there's a few things that you can do to make sure that it functions. Does the aperture close?
Right.
You don't need to attach to a camera to figure that out.
Well-
These things are all mechanical.
Well, I guess the thing is that, like, I'm a little gun shy to sell some of my vintage stuff if I have things that I don't need anymore, because I'm worried that I'm going to advertise it works, sold as is, and that it's going to break in transit, or it's on its last legs and it's going to break like within a week of the person
Yeah.
getting it, because you just don't know. And then, I don't want to deal with, I have this money, I made the sale, and then 2 weeks later, I have the dilemma of, hey, this is no good, I want my money back. And then I get to deal with either like negotiating a partial refund or deal with taking a loss in shipping because they get the full refund and I have to pay for return shipping if I want the broken thing back, or take the complete loss and give them back their money and tell them to keep it, which is basically like just giving it away plus paying shipping. I mean, but then again, these are worst case scenarios, but those worst case scenarios are always on my mind. And so that's why I'm like very gun shy about selling on eBay, because I don't want to
Sure.
deal with the seller end of it.
Well,
But
in
then
fact,
as a buyer,
sometimes the buyer wants something perfect, even
Right.
though it says it's not.
right?
Or hey, so I sold some of my scuba gear, including regulators, on eBay, and I offered a very, very reasonable price for it, and I told how old it was. It seemed to work for me, et cetera, et cetera. The person that bought it said, "Oh, well, what can you do? Apparently the hoses need to be replaced." Well, I didn't see any cracks. That's what happens. They tend to crack as they age.
Yeah.
And so he wanted some money back. And I go, well, let me see. As it turns out, the guy had it shipped to Miami, and then it was shipped to Saudi Arabia.
Huh.
And because he was in Saudi Arabia, eBay wasn't PayPal wasn't going to send that money.
Right.
So, too bad for that guy.
Yeah. But
And he didn't continue to bug me. I just, sorry.
yeah. Well, for me, it's also tough to be the buyer. Like one time I bought a projector off of eBay and it was advertised as is, but it was also advertised as working. And I get the projector I was in California, so I get the projector off of eBay. I get it out of its box. It turns on. The bulb is working. I thread up a movie, And like partway into the movie, the take up stops taking up. Different parts just start giving up, and things stop turning. It was basically like it sat probably for years. Things probably started like cracking or becoming brittle. Dude probably turned it on for 2 seconds, turned it off.
Were there
and
like rubber?
Well, I don't know what was inside of it, but
So you didn't open it up to look at it.
well, no, because I just wanted my money back. Because this was clearly, yes, it was advertised as is, but it was also advertised as working as is. So when you get something that was working and like within 10 minutes it just completely melts down and is not working, what holds
Sure.
weight? Does that
Sure.
working hold weight, or does that as is hold weight? And I'd hate to be in that chair as a seller, but I also, it was bad all around. It was bad for me that got this thing that was advertised as working that immediately stops working. It's bad for the seller who just wanted to ditch an old projector. And so he gave me a refund. I shipped it back to him. And then after I ship it back to him, he sends me a message going, "I know what you did." And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, "I know what you did, and you think you got away with it, but we get away with nothing. You know, turn around and do the right thing, or you'll pay in the next life," or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sold me a bad projector. You gave me a refund. Like, our conversation's done at this point.
After the fact.
After I shipped it
Bizarre.
back to him, he accused me of I don't even know what. He didn't tell me what he's accusing me of. He just got real nasty with "I know what you did." And I'm like,
What did I do?
yeah. I asked him and he wouldn't tell me. He goes, "You know what you did. You know what you did." I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You know, and so at some point I pushed back on him, and then he reported me to eBay for unwanted harassing communication. And eBay basically gave me a cordial, "This is just to notify you that your messages have been flagged as unwanted harassment. No action will be taken against you, but we are blocking your ability to contact that user to respect his wishes," or something to that effect. It was almost like eBay speak for, "Dude's full of shit, but we're just going to block you because, like, you know, there's no need for you two to talk anymore." You know. So anyways, up on the screen for a while here has been the Grail, the Holy Grail, the JVC CD450 that has sold for $200, and there it is. It's quite a large box for a CD4 disc demodulator. It's got your typical. Well, most disc demodulators don't have a volume knob on them because it's a line level device that feeds the amplifier.
Yeah, that's a little weird, isn't it?
So, I mean, it's not unheard of for other pieces of audio equipment to have their own level adjustments for levels of fine tuning, but it's not necessary and it's not normal. So that's one of the uniquenesses of this model.
Is that volume for all channels together?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe it's so you can fade up and then fade it down at the end or something like that.
It's so that you can balance it to the level of your other audio components. Really, I mean that's
right.
kind of
well, and that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really the
in case you're going to Atmos, right?
You're probably gonna set it and forget it is what you're gonna do. But probably. You know, the little knobs here, your basic calibrations that require a CD4 setup record to calibrate the front back separation and dial in the test tones, and there's also a picture of the back, and there's the back with inputs and outputs, and it's probably, what is Japanese run on, 100 volt or something like that. Like it runs at a lower voltage than American, so I have I have a transformer that I could use with it to get it to the right voltage level. So I probably wouldn't use those outlets on the back there because that would be passing along that same voltage level that's been adjusted. But yeah, there it is. It's in Aliso Viejo, California. I'm not sure where in California that is. That probably Southern California. I'm thinking.
I've never heard of it.
No, but and you can see that I have been pricing the second Rubik's Magic puzzle, and Carly Simon Quadraphonic Records. So
Right.
test it to the best of my ability without a CD4 source. Power light works. All knobs and switches respond properly. I verified audio output through both fixed and variable RCA outs using standard stereo input. Aux and phono inputs both pass signal cleanly. Separation carrier level meters react to signal, but full CD4 decoding was not tested due to lack of proper source and cartridge. Cosmetically clean with minor front panel wear, sold as is due to age, but fully functional based on available tests. I wonder if this guy seems to be familiar with the concept of CD4, but I don't think he realizes that this is like the holy grail of CD4 demodulators.
Hopefully he's not listening.
Well, they also, I mean, the transaction's complete. He'd, yeah. Well, I guess, he'd probably get a slap on the wrist from eBay if he found out. So yeah, let's hope he's not listening, and don't you go telling him. But yeah, I wonder, like, what else is this guy selling? We should see if he's got any other holy grails in his. Let's see, Yamaha M80 power amplifier, Yamaha Natural Sound C80 preamp. Oh, well, here he's got a Sansui QSD1 4-channel decoder, and he knows that thing's worth over $1,000. So he knows something about this type of equipment. Maybe he knows the CD450 is broken and just doesn't want it back. What have I got myself into? So yeah, that is odd that he knows this one's worth. Well, this one shows up more frequently. This one, he actually could find a history for like what it sold for. The JVC, there's no history of what it sold for in the past. And other demodulators might sell for around $100 to $200. So he probably did a minimal amount of research and was like, demodulator, $200. So yeah, wow. But the thing is that I didn't even find it on eBay. I wasn't even looking for it on eBay. I brought up Facebook, and someone posted the link to one of the Quad Facebook groups going, hey, I could be wrong, but I think this is like the best CD4 demodulator that they ever made. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, oh, it's gone. It's gone if they're selling it for that. And I click the link, and the buy it now button's right there. I'm like, holy shit.
Bunk. You didn't get a second chance for that, right?
It's like, hey, thank you. And you know what the best part about this is? The best part about this is that I then saw Quad Bob post on the Facebook Facebook listing going, wow, someone got a good deal. And it was at that moment I decided I'm going to post and let him know it was me so that I could, piss him off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did get a good deal.
Yeah, thanks, Quad Bob. I got a great deal on it. Your favorite.
Right. You're right.
That guy.
Dude, that's funny. That is funny.
Yes, Johnny did buy this. I absolutely bought
Sparky.
that. Hello, Sparky.
And hey, Zelos.
And Zelos saying that you had better demonstrate it. Oh, I will. I absolutely will. I don't know how. Now, Sparky asking, did you buy it to flip it? Every time I buy something like this, there is a thought in the back of my head. Heck, you can't turn this down, even if you don't want to spend $200. It's worth it alone just to flip it if you can. But do I ever?
Well, you can flip the other one. You probably won't get your $400 out of it.
No. The other one I tried to. I've not generated interest in the other one. But then again, I didn't. I tried a few listings. I got no nibbles, and so I kind of put it to the side. Now, 5hit2 wants to know.
You could post it and then post the eBay listing on the Facebook group. Hey, this one's available now.
I guess I could list.
I bet you someone's going to get a great deal on it.
I guess I could get $200 for it pretty easily, and they'll think that that's a great deal. And I would have basically made a trade up
Exactly.
for even Steven. Dune wants to know, is QB still a big turd? QB, or not QB? That is the question. If someone runs a stereo repair operation that he doesn't communicate anything to many customers, and many customers start complaining in numerous numbers about basically getting no option of refund, no equipment ever sent back to them, no communication, and nothing. I don't think there's any coming back from big turd status. I really don't. And not that that's any of my business. I mean, he's a big turd to me because of the pissing matches we got in on the forums. Time just proved me to be on the right side of that history. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna. I think he's a big deal in certain quad circles, and he'll always have his followers that think he's a big deal. But there's a lot of people that have seen that he's a big turd. And I'm on team turd. So
That's funny.
So yeah, I think he to many people he will always be a big turd. Some people were surprised when he started showing up on Facebook in one of the quad circles, especially given that his name is Bud in many of the quad circles. But
Right.
well, he's one of those guys that was big into quad and became a respected leader in the quad communities in before the internet was a thing. There's kind of an era of time where, quad dies out, internet rises. And there were things I think there was literal photocopied newsletters that some people in some circles would distribute relating to things relating to quad. So somehow in the Southern California area, he was some kind of a quad leader or quad guru. And so for me, and it's one of those things where I'm young and new to the scene. I go on this forum here where, as far as I'm concerned, this forum's new. We all joined this relatively around the same time. And then you step in someone's shit, and it's almost like do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to Mr. Quad the Bob over there. You show some respect. And I'm like, I don't give a shit who the fuck you think you are. You're a fucking moron. And that did, and so that caused me to look like an asshole for a period of time. And then he revealed himself to the world. And I came out looking pretty good at the end of that.
Right.
So yeah, that's anyways. So I just wonder if, because he knew my real name. We exchanged emails. We had a few phone conversations when we were trying to be cordial and work through our issues, because we were part of this little group of trading and sharing things. But our one phone conversation, he's like, towards the end, he's like, I just want to let you know, you try any of that shit again, I'll shut you right down. So don't even think of trying it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then the next thing, he did something stupid. I called him out on it, and then he kicked me out of the group. And then I threatened to report them for internet fraud if they didn't give me a refund for my membership, because this was like a little paid community thing. And
Sure.
and he was like, he could go fuck off. And then the owner of the forum basically called him up and said, you give that dude back his $50. I don't want fraud coming into my place, because the Quad Bob's running this little group out of this other guy's website, and this other guy's like, I don't want trouble. I don't want
cut it
anything.
out. Both of you.
Like, he didn't want them to run it from his website, but they pressured him into it because he's Quad Bob. And so then I start stirring up trouble, and he's like, dude, I don't want trouble from either of you. You all need to. So basically he was like, give him back his $50. You shut up. That's kind of how that played out.
Yeah,
But anyways, Dune seems to have clipped something. So I think we have to check out what that is now. So let's take a look here. This is me on, and I'm on Team Turd. So I knew that sounded funny, so you're welcome. Oh god, but that's a story that didn't really need too much retelling. But hopefully, I put some humorous spin on that with the whole Team Turd. Well, Dune asked the question, and he got the answer. Go
Yeah.
turds. No, really,
I don't
go
think that's
turds.
I don't think that would be a very good team mascot. Team Turd.
Go turds, go turds, go turds.
Exactly.
Hit that ball. Make that goal. Touch that down.
Twitch
Rim
wouldn't
that
let you-
job.
Twitch wouldn't let you type turd. Oh, that's funny. Arr!
Oh, that. Oh, that Twitch. Twitch is not on Team Turd.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Maybe that would be a basketball team.
Right.
I mean, that is pretty shitty. But
Maybe they use cabbages or pumpkins.
or Blumpkins.
Yeah.
We've taught you that one, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have learned something over the course of this show.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I just forget though.
And Sparky again reminding people to be careful about your cigarette terminology on the chats because he went to Twitter jail for a period of time.
Oh no.
For referring to a UK terminology for a cigarette. But yeah, so
But I'm not in the UK. I'm in the US.
right. We don't say that here. But oh man, we had some reason. Oh, why did it happen? At some point, someone refers to someone as the R word sometimes when we're talking about people on the back porch, and every time whoever in the group does this, I go, "Are we bringing that back? Can we say that again?" and one of the other guys like, no, we're not. He's like, yeah, I'm bringing it back. No, we're not. Well, I always love doing that whole, we're bringing it back. Not that I want to. It's just, yes. And speaking of retread, you got to retread your tires is what you got to do. Oh, that reminds me of, is it too soon for me to retell the tire video story? Do you all remember?
No, I think you can tell it.
Do you remember the story I'm talking about?
You'll have to kind of remind me.
Okay.
I bet she'll come right back.
Well, working at a garbage company, I did have lots of access to free reading material that I'm told most people just read the articles. But
Right.
I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't read any articles in any of these periodicals. I just looked at the pretty pictures. And some of them had pictures that were not so pretty, like the one that had a kind of a cooking segment involving an eel. But that was after they were done playing with the eel, and then they served the cooked eel to the. Anyways, so there were lots of magazines in a land far, far away known as Reddington. There was lots of magazines, all the free adult-natured magazines you could, hide in your jacket and bring home. Warhawk Reddington, no eels barred. And
That was a good one.
when you're kind of a teen getting access to free periodicals like this, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing. It kind of takes away the pressure of having to rely on your imagination. And but then it's like, I hear all these great things about what they're doing with the VCR. Like, do you find videos? Do you find videos of this here? And And people are like, no, we don't find them thrown out. Now, I mean, maybe sometimes, but no. And I'm like, well, could anyone get me some videos of this nature? I'd really like to peruse some video action. Mind you, this is also before I had access to the internet. So it's basically magazines and VHS tapes. And I didn't have access to VHS tapes. So I'm relying on these still pictures to, excite myself. And so one of the guys is like, yeah, I'll bring you in some videos. And another guy, good old Pete. Gotta love Pete. He goes, yeah, I got one. I'll give it to you right now. I'm like, all right. He hands me this blank unlabeled VHS tape and says, well, here you go. Enjoy. I'm like, oh, excellent. I was so excited. I was giddy with delight. I was just counting down the minutes to the end of this day to go home and play my new tape. And mind you, because I worked at the same company my dad worked at, I get a ride home from my dad. My dad had a job that he worked late. So I'd be finished with my shift. I had to hang out in the break room for a few hours, counting down the minutes to one of the guys had a PC in his office that he let me install some computer games on. So I'd go there and play the computer games for a few hours. So get home, eat dinner, retire to my room, lock the door, dim the lights, get the socks out, and get ready to, watch a video. And actually, it wasn't that evening. I did it like the next day was like a day off from school or after school. I seem to recall coming home from school.
A more convenient time, basically. Yeah.
Point is, I'm alone in my room, me and my video. I put the tape in, and I hit the play button. Little FBI warning thing comes up. Michelin presents You and Your Tires.
You got punked.
Damn you, Pete!
Punked. That's funny.
I truly believed I was about to go to heaven. Instead, I got to learn about tires. And, it took a little longer than usual, but I got the job done, damn it. So I go into work the next time. And I'm like, fuck you, Pete. He's like, what? You like that scene with the rims? I'm like, what? He's like, gee, I bet you were so excited to watch that video, probably left you a little tired.
Oh, play on the word. That's great.
Sparky writes in, were you expecting something else? You're damn right I was. I was so sad. I was back to the magazines.
What was funny is that when DVDs start coming out, I went to Fry's Electronics back when they were still in business. And you go to the CD aisle, and I think more than half of what was available was something porn, adult.
Makes sense.
It was pretty funny.
I mean, porn built the VHS empire and the video rental empire. Porn is why VHS won out over Beta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sony didn't want porn on their format. They wouldn't allow it.
But if you had the equipment, how could they stop you?
They controlled the licensing of it.
Oh, so you couldn't do it and then release it.
I mean, the truth of the matter is that Sony's restrictive licensing over the tech was what killed it. But it's often cited as they wouldn't allow porn. VHS allowed porn. A big movement of VHS in the early days was porn rentals. And then also if you go to, the local electronics store, they're like, well, this video player plays movies and this video player plays movies and porn. Which one are you coming home with? Right. It's like, yeah, could you just not tell the wife that? Leave that part.
Or maybe she wants to see that with you.
It could be. She might be into that. She might be. But yeah, because Beta was the superior format. a quality.
Absolutely. I mean, and this wasn't the only time that Sony lost.
Right.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, it took them to Blu-ray to finally hit a
Right.
lukewarm win.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the Michelin tire story, and yeah, but Charlie hooked me up. The next week I go in, Charlie gave me a big old bag, and that had that's where I got the little Green Man tape from. Remember that one, right? One of the tapes in Charlie's bag, Charlie's stash that he gave me. It had the tape was not a movie with a plot, because there are some porns that are plot movies, like Angels of Passion, that everyone knows that came from. But then there are some porn movies that it's just a series of scenes, and maybe there's series of scenes that came out of other movies that are just compiled. But that's what this tape was. This tape had a scene of this couple doing something, the bow, and,
we got it.
And so the last scene on the tape actually was like, the plot of the scene was that they're shooting a porn, which is real easy to do. You just have to have a second camera that gets the first camera in the shot, and then you have a setting for your porn. It's a porn about making a porn. And so, they kind of show like the director and the cameraman there, and they have a naked woman that's on the set there, and they're going to shoot a solo scene of her having a good old time with herself. Ready, action, and she starts, stimulating herself, as one does when they're in front of a camera for these purposes. And at some point, they cut to the shot of a animated UFO flying over the planet. Then they cut back to the woman on the set having a good time with herself. And then they cut back to the UFO, and they cut inside with this little green man with a suspiciously large nose is dialing in on his computer to zero in on Earth. And I guess he realized the hottest spot on Earth right now is this soundstage where this chick is having a good old time with herself in front of a camera. And so, you see her on the screen in his UFO, and they cut back to her having a good old time with herself. They cut back to the green man, whose nose seems to be getting a little larger as he's watching this on his TV screen that he's tapped into. And at some point, he starts rubbing his nose, and his nose grows until the little green man is no longer a little green man. The little green man is just a floating green dick. Is what this is. I mean, there's no legs, there's no arms. There's just a floating green dick that he is magically turned
That's
into.
bizarre.
And the little green dick floats into the soundstage, and oddly, no one on the soundstage sees the little green dick. And the little green dick proceeds to animatedly. I mean, it was like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of thing. You got live action, you got animation, you got the animated green dick fucking the real life woman that's playing with herself. It was quite erotic and quite hilarious. So yes, it was alien sex is what it was, Sparky. It was absolutely alien sex. It was interspecies erotica, I think is what they call that.
Or is it interplanetary?
Unfortunately, when I got ready to go away to college, I did not want to leave behind anything embarrassing in my room for my siblings or parents to stumble onto. And so the magazines, the tapes, they all went into the trash can at about 12:30, half past midnight, the night before the morning pickup would be, to ensure minimal opportunity for retrieval from trash can, to make sure that would go straight into a garbage truck, back to where it came from, back to Charlie to pull out of the dumpster and take back home.
Oh, brother.
And I never saw...
So he was like a mega dumpster diver.
No, he was. He probably didn't find it. It went to a landfill. But no, Charlie was a mechanic. The guys I was hanging out with a lot of times working out there were the mechanics that worked on the trucks. And we all had a good old ball busting time on our lunch breaks. OX64 writes in, been listening while working on Roku app. did a live test, and thank God I thought to turn the audio off on OBS. Otherwise, Johnny's audio port would have been going all over Roku. Thank you, OX64. Thank you for turning the audio off. Oh, it's just a little green man. That's all. It's a science fiction program.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. But anything to drum up new listeners. So yeah, that is where that tape came from, and I've never found it again. So if anyone out there ever sees this, you know, I think I've actually tried Googling for this, which has done wonders for my search history and internet profile out. I'm sure I'm on some government watch list somewhere,
Right.
for some of the shit. And OX Ready, normally I forget to mute the audio on OBS. Well, luck was on your side today, OX.
Yeah. Oops.
Be funny. Why couldn't I forgot to mute when he was talking about audio equipment? That would have been fine. No, it's all good. Yeah, so I don't know. So now, Brian, did you ever own any VHS tapes of that nature? Or you just stay away from the stuff? You only rented for the articles.
Yeah, for the articles, right? Right. No, not VHS tapes. I avoided purchasing VHS tapes because I knew that they wouldn't last that long.
Just in general, you avoided VHS.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
There's a couple of VH tapes that I have, but not very many.
So when you went to that Fry's, how many porn DVDs did you end up buying that day?
Well, I didn't have a DVD player at that point. This was like the first day.
That still doesn't answer the question, Brian.
That day, zero.
Okay, that's an answer to the question.
Not having, nothing. Yeah.
You don't have to have a DVD player to buy a DVD. Sometimes you're like, wow, this looks hot. I can't wait till I own a DVD player.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the, you know, one of the least used features on DVD is the alternate angle feature, where you could actually have a scene that has a little thing that is
Yeah.
And I think that feature was mainly put in there for porn videos, because I've never owned a DVD that ever used that
actually,
feature.
there is a Queen DVD
Uh-huh.
on DVD. A DVD that's on DVD. How is that convenient? It's wonderful. Anyway, it has multiple angles in it.
Oh, okay. So there's some non-porn.
and there's one scene. The front scene, of course, is Freddie Mercury doing his thing,
right?
Right. So then went to the alternate angle, and the bass player and the guitar player are like off stage. Doing the Paul and John, John Lennon and Paul McCartney thing, facing each other, playing the tunes. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That is.
I don't have to look at Freddie.
You don't have to. Most
Not that I
people
had a
do,
problem
but you
with
don't
Freddie.
have to. Yeah.
He was very talented and very entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess concert videos would be a good application, but apparently
right.
the porn also.
Although I haven't seen it in anything
Yes.
else, because I have some other type concert videos, but I haven't noticed, because usually when there is, alternate angle available, they tell you.
Right. Well, I remember there was a Final Destination movie that had kind of a choose your own adventure vibe to it, that you could select what choices the character would make, and that would make the for the most part the main plot of the movie would still play out the same way, but some people that originally died in the movie, they might end up not dying if you choose something different.
Right.
Although the thing is that if you make the wrong choice right at the beginning of the movie, then like the event that needs to happen for the whole movie to take place doesn't happen. And so like the first time we're doing it, we like make a choice, and the choice results in like, I think the premise of the movie is they were supposed to go on a roller coaster ride, but this one member of the group had a premonition that they're going to die on this roller coaster. And the concept of Final Destination is if you avoid this catastrophic event that you're supposed to die in, fate is going to come and get you, and the group all start dying one by one. And so they're all trying to beat death or whatever is causing this. And so you can make a choice where they actually end up riding the roller coaster and dying in the accident.
Right,
and then that's the end of the movie. That's it. It shoots
so there was
credits.
there was a funny thing. I think it was Graham. I was watching Graham Norton, and then there was a reference, and I don't remember who the guests were. Okay. But there was a reference to there had been this contest, and the winner of the contest got to get a part in the movie, and that is playing a dead body.
Oh, nice.
So you go on stage, whatever, and you're killed, and you're laying there for a long time as a dead body.
Right.
Okay. And one of the funny things, this is hilarious, and this is actually fairly common, to get a role as a dead. I want to be a dead body. I can't act for shit, but I could be a dead body. Trust me. Anyway, so a lot of guys that end up as dead body apparently will get a hard on.
Oh, rigor mortis.
Exactly. Exactly. That's hilarious.
But yeah, what was I going to say?
I'm just testing my tent.
Yeah, no, that I was going to say something about dead body or playing. Oh, speaking of like getting a role in a movie and it turns out it's a dead body. That kind of reminds me of this guy I worked with told me that there was some movie that I don't know if it was billing itself at this or there was advertisement or some kind of teaser or something, but the movie was like advertised or promoted as featuring the Beach Boys. And it turns out like there's one scene in the movie where the guy like is putting something in the trunk of his car, and in the shot you can see he's got a framed picture of the Beach Boys in the trunk of his car, and I guess that counted as featuring the Beach Boys.
Wow.
I don't know if that's
that was
a true
just
story.
a hook to get people to watch it.
Right, it was a total
Right.
bullshit hook. It's like
Right.
it's
I hate
like
that.
somewhere there's a documentary about the theremin, and like the front package of the DVD says featuring interviews, from different people, and it says it's featuring an interview from Todd Rundgren. And I never saw this documentary, but Gothard saw it, and Gothard said, "Oh yeah, I love how they say it features Todd Rundgren. The only scene they had of him in there was him going, the theremin is that thing that goes, and that was like it. That was the only line he had in the whole thing." He had nothing. He had contributed nothing useful to the topic of the theremin. Just, whoa, is that thing that goes? Anyways,
That's pretty funny.
that is, yeah, false advertising. Just like people on eBay with
Right.
works but sold as is.
Yeah, that seems contradictory, actually.
Yeah, it is, but it's also understandable, but also you're hoping that it's being done in good faith. That was an awful topic. Why did I pivot back there? Yeah, we still got a half hour to fill. You see, where's Mars been? We've been missing Mars lately. This is where Mars would. Now we did get a follow earlier, probably from the raid. So Armageddon, thank you for the follow. And I know that because I got an email alert about the follow. So I'm sorry I missed it when it happened.
Right.
But let's see. Zoe Redigan, Singing and the Glass Guitar, my favorite track. Oh yes, that is a great one. Well, that's Ra, Utopia's third album, the first one as a quartet. Now Sparky wants to know if any new things happening with conference rooms. I don't have any good conference room stories this week. This was week number 2 of going all in on The Office on Monday. I walked around and I tested the conference rooms. They all worked fine. And then I got a knock on the door from someone in HR that needed to present a video in one of the conference rooms, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, oh my, let's go take a look. Go take a look at this. And I got to figure this out at some point. But so the problem is that the conference room equipment is very flexible, which sounds good. But Brian, as a programmer, well, I don't know. You never really program for end users. You program for business purpose. But what's the problem with presenting end users with something that's flexible? Thank you, Sparky.
Well, of course.
Keep it simple,
Yeah.
stupid. Flexible means that you have lots of different ways that you could use it for different options. You know, so if someone asks, well, what's the right way to use this equipment? Well, it depends what your circumstances are. It depends what you want to do. That is not a recipe for success. You know, so basically what I've done is I've figured out the main way the equipment works for the primary purposes. And so my answer is, this is how it works. You don't connect this cable, you connect this cable, you hit that button, and you're off. And then if something goes wrong, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it this way instead. Or if something weird's happening, it's like, okay, you're going to want to do that and do that. But you got to have that simple starting point. So,
Well, that's a bummer, Sparky.
I was out only for, well, the thing is I was out for a long weekend, but Kristen was still here.
Oh, she didn't go with you.
No, she didn't go with me on this one. She doesn't go to all the beach trips.
Well, she could have provided the snacks and the drinks.
Yeah, she probably would have
to
helped.
Sparky.
But anyways, so where was I? So basically there's 2 cables that you can connect to your laptop to connect it to the AV system. There's a HDMI cable that also has a ring of adapters attached to it to adapt HDMI to USB-C or mini display port or standard display port, so that just about any laptop any outsider brings in has a way to connect and share their laptop screen to the TV. And this also goes through Crestron equipment that allows sharing of the screen out to the video call, and a speakerphone that is integrated with Microsoft Teams to join a Teams call and share this and share the camera. And so generally you connect the HDMI cable with the adapter that is needed. You join the call. The camera points at the room. Your screen's up on the TV. You hear people on the call hear you, and everyone's happy. But what if you need to host a Zoom call, you say? And I know what you're saying. But these equipments allow you to join Zoom calls. They don't allow you to host Zoom calls, but they allow you to join Zoom calls. So if someone else starts the Zoom call from their laptop, as long as the room's invited, you can hit join. It will still share it to the room. That was not always the case. When we put this equipment in, it would only work with Teams calls. If you're going to host a Zoom call, you'd have to do it differently. So there's a USB cable that you can connect to your laptop, and connecting the USB cable to the laptop disables the touch screen on the speakerphone, and it basically adds the room sound system as a sound device in your laptop, the microphone, the speaker, and the webcam, so that you can host the Zoom call on your laptop and use the laptop to host the call using the room's sound equipment. But we rarely ever want to do that. So we pretty much always say, don't connect the USB cable, only connect the HDMI cable. You rarely want to use USB. Don't worry. I'll tell you if you ever need to use it. Just don't connect that cable. Well, unfortunately, there's a 2-sided set of instructions with a side of instructions on side 1, how to host a Teams call, and a set of instructions on side 2 how to host a Zoom call that explains how to use the USB cable. And for some reason now, when you connect this USB cable in some rooms, it makes the laptop think that you have a wired network connection, and it disables the Wi-Fi adapter. But you don't have a wired network connection because the wired network and the equipment there is locked down by security to only allow access to Microsoft for the Zoom call to go through. So she goes in the room, she connects both cables, she loses the ability to do anything on her laptop that requires Wi-Fi. And so I had to come in and disconnect the cable, and then she points to, well, you probably should update those instructions. So I took the instructions and I turned so that side faces the wall and the correct side was facing her. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to that. So yeah, I had a conference room story. It just wasn't a very good one.
Yeah, I get it though.
Yeah. It's, I mean, the bottom line is even when the stuff works right, it's kind of confusing.
Right.
But that's conference rooms.
I do like that gadget that we programmed in SAP at work.
Oh,
And that is in the estimating system. We decided to use this. The only gadget we could find that we could use, would offer 4 different selections. Well, pick one of 4.
okay.
Well, we only had 3. Either print the estimate, email the estimate, or fax the thing. We couldn't think of a 4th one.
Okay.
So instead of saying one of the choices, we just say, don't press this button.
You should have programmed it to keep a counter of how many times it was pressed.
Oh, I know it. And actually, if you did press the button, it just says, well, we told you not to press that. Right?
Nice.
And what we could have done is modify that to say, instead of, I told you not to press it, damn it, you press that button, we're calling HR. Anyway. But anyway, when I talk to people in the estimating department or in customer service, has anybody tried that button? And this is no. We obey. So nobody knew the joke.
Oh, that's too bad.
Press it. Truly, HR will not be called.
Press it. Press the button.
Just for laughs. You're not going to crash and burn.
Yeah, so I had no conference room issues today, but I got something in my eye right now. That's bugging the hell out of me. Anyways, no, my issue today in the office was I had a series of work clumping on itself. Because last week, someone opened up a ticket about a key on their laptop keyboard stopped working. And so I'm like, okay, got to replace the laptop. It's not a laptop anyways. So I scheduled a laptop swap for 11 o'clock. Easy peasy. I had nothing on my calendar all day, and 11 o'clock, it's before lunch. It's way after coffee and time to settle in. Gives me time for prep work and everything. Easy peasy. 11 o'clock, she'll come in. We'll swap the laptop. All be right with the world. Well, around 10:30, what's going on? So then we get a message from someone going, oh, so-and-so in security started driving into the office this morning, and he realized he forgot his laptop, and it would be too long to turn around and go back and get it. Could he have a loaner ready for him? I'm like, sure. So I have a loaner to the side ready for him to sign into. And then my coworker, he told someone that he would upgrade the hard drive in their laptop because they're running out of disk space. So he's like, hey, when so-and-so comes in with his laptop, can you do a hard drive swap for him? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay. And so wouldn't you know it, 10:30 turns to 10:45, turns to, and then at some point, so basically all 3 happen at the same time.
Naturally. Right.
The guy shows up, drops off the laptop, 2 minutes before I'm supposed to be for the laptop swap. So I got to open up this laptop, get the hard drive out while I'm running late to meet the person for the laptop swap. Because even though I send the calendar invite, come to the IT lab, not everyone knows where the IT lab is. So finally I get the hard drive out of I had to decrypt the hard drive first. So that's running. It's like 5 minutes late. And I'm like, where is she? So I go over to her office so I can go, hey, let me show you where the IT lab is. Or, hey, we need to meet in the IT lab to do the swap because security reasons. Network rules and but like the network jacks in the IT lab allow us to do things that are required to set up laptops that you can't do outside of that room. Did I miss lunch? No, we had free pizza for lunch. You know why we had free pizza for lunch? We went a whole month without anyone clicking on a simulated fish email link. So they bought us free pizza. So that's a pretty big fucking deal right there. So round of applause for all our staff keeping us safe and not clicking the links. But anyways, so yeah, I'm decrypting the hard drive. So I go to get Irby. So I'm like, all right, well, while the hard drive's decrypting, we'll do your laptop swap, and then hopefully I can finish the hard drive thing before that guy comes back. And I find her assistant, and she's like, oh, she had to run to her car to get her phone. I'll just send her to the lab when she gets back. I'm like, great, perfect. So I get back to the lab, I can work on getting the hard drive out of there. And then she shows up, and so I'm kind of juggling the hard drive swap, and I'm signing her into the things. And then the guy that needed the loaner laptop, he shows up at the same time. So I'm like, all right, get you to sign in here while I'm signing in here and copy that there. And I was basically, and what's great is we have an intern who's a rising junior at a college. And so I said to her something effective, I feel like I'm spinning plates right now. I realized she has no fucking clue what I'm talking about. So then I brought up YouTube so I could show her an episode of Ed Sullivan with the plate spinner so that she could get my dated reference. And she had a nice little laugh about that. And so yeah, you know you get the reference, right, Brian? Sparky gets the reference probably. Yeah. Dune gets the reference. Mod Pro, I don't know. I don't know if she gets the plate spinning reference. I don't know. She might be in that generation that doesn't know that. We might have to, but OX64 he gets it. Zoe Balls, I don't know. Did they rerun Ed Sullivan over in merry old England? Anyways, so I was like, I feel like I'm the guy with the bowls and the plates and the running around.
I can't imagine that something like that would be crossing the border anyway, not necessarily Sullivan.
What?
Not necessarily Sullivan. I can't imagine that something like that doesn't cross the border because that's not that uncommon.
What are we talking about?
Spinning plates.
Well, you know what I'm referencing, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Zoe writing in, sorry, only half heard it. Does what in England? Oh, I was referencing how when I had to, like, 3 or 4 things going on at the same time, I made a reference to our intern about, I feel like I'm, the guy spinning the plates on Ed Sullivan. And she had no clue what I was talking about, which of course she didn't. And
she probably didn't know who Ed Sullivan was.
So, right. So I was saying... So I was saying, Brian, you get that reference. I was going through the list of who gets the reference, and I figured you're probably in the right age range to have gotten the reference, except I don't know if they ran episodes of Ed Sullivan in England and that you would have seen the plate spinning act where the guy's running around keeping all the bowls and the plates all spinning simultaneously. Sparky Ray said, really big show for you tonight. Really big show. Now, Zoe writing in, not sure about Ed Sullivan, but I've seen spinning plates. Okay, I guess they, yeah. Well, that guy made the rounds. He didn't just do Ed Sullivan. I mean, that was an act he did. He probably did it for other shows. It's just, I think that's where its longevity is, because I grew up with Ed Sullivan reruns sometimes showing on TV, and that's where I had seen it.
Sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was what my job felt like for a moment today. And I got to educate the younger generation on our older analogies.
Keep pushing it forward, right?
So maybe someday, years into her career in IT, she can have one of those days like, yeah, I feel like that plate spinner that weird guy I worked with that summer showed me.
Right. So is this just a summer intern hire?
Yeah. But last summer we had another intern, and he worked out so good. We kept him on like 1 day a week remote when he went back to school. And but then this summer he
cool.
got a better internship to kind of step on up. And so we had to start interviewing new candidates. And so we brought in a new
Right.
intern this summer.
Do you guys deal with one particular college or?
No. We just open it up to whoever. I mean, I think she's related to someone that works for us. Not that you have to be, but that
Right.
is a way to get
It's a
candidates.
shoe in, as it were.
Well,
A really big shoe.
a really big shoe in. Yeah. So that's been fun. Been fun having an intern around that I could teach all my things to and
Right.
teach all my tricks. But yeah, so that was but it sure made the day go fast. But the thing is I kind of pissed off one of my managers today.
Oh.
Well, so we occupy 1.5 floors, and they've decided that we're going to get rid of the half floor and go to be all on one floor, even though we're requiring the entire staff, which is the same size as it was when we were going in 5 days a week, to be in the office every Monday. It's like when we started coming back to the office, not every department came back at the same time. So we didn't need 1.5 floors. And so they decided, hey, why don't we get rid of the half floor? But at the same time, they were like, hey, what if we made an official schedule that we all come in the office at the same time too? And so they did both of these things at the same time. So they basically created a problem, which is so we never were, but because real estate is awful, we couldn't get anyone to sublease the half floor that we have. So we ended up keeping some desks set up on the 6th floor that could be signed out, because we use a hoteling system now for most employees to sign out available desks. But now we finally got rid of this of the half floor and so we had to squeeze some more desks onto the one floor we're keeping, and we got to move equipment up. And so we have a looming deadline of when we need to be completely out of that half floor that we have. And so today we were doing a walk around to see what we need to clear out, what can stay, what can go, what moves. And so they're asking me, so I asked, okay, well, at what point are you going to take this floor completely out of the sign-out system so I can take the good monitors out of here and take any equipment that we want to keep? And he's like, well, no, that's up to you. You got to set up the desks. I'm like, look, I've been setting up the desks. We only got 3 more desks to set up. 2 of them we're going to set up today. The third one as soon as you clear the shit off of it. So like, I don't need the equipment that's still being used down here for desks up there anymore. I'm going to get what I need today, and I'll let you know. But the rest of the desks, it's up to you when you want to, shut it down. He's like, I want to do it as soon as possible. I'm like, well, heck, in theory, we can do this next week. You could shut it down the end of this week, and next week we all go to the one floor. And one of my managers, not my direct manager, but a kind of a lateral manager, but is still kind of in that group above me. So he's a manager, but not my manager. He normally books one of the offices that's on this half floor to get a little like privacy in his own little quiet space. And so we shut this down. He's like, no, I want to keep my office for a few more weeks. He's like, we don't need, and I'm like, let's just do it. We're ready. We're done. We need to clear this shit out. Let's just do it. And I basically said to him, look, I'm not going to take the equipment out of the offices right away. I'll do that last. You want to go squat in the office next week? You go ahead. But he was a little ticked at me at being like, yeah, pull the plug, shut it down. We're shutting it down. I'm getting it all out of here. So yeah, I might have ticked him off a little bit. But I don't care. It's all good. Nothing for that. You seem preoccupied right now.
Just slightly.
Hmm.
I was following you though.
Sparky writes in, Johnny learn, you don't rip and tear stuff out so quick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I basically, we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna see what happens when people sign in because some of the new desks we set up are like a room that has 6 desks in it that's off to the side. And so it's kind of a little cramped if you get all 6 desks taken up at the same time. So we've never really fully packed the one full floor with every desk on that floor. We've always had a group of people that have kind of spread out to the quiet, sparse 6th floor. So it's really going to be, we need to see what's going to happen. So I'm like, let's do it next week. Let's shut it down. And let's see next week if we need to roll it back. If we need to open the 6th floor back up next week, we can do it, and then we know that we need to deal with this. So Sparky writes in, Brian is watching tire videos. And
That's funny.
there you go.
That's funny.
And Sparky writes in, I bet the actors are from Singapore. Brian's there. Hey,
Possibly.
Hey, it's my wife.
Exactly.
My Asian wife.
Hey. There she is.
Wonder what she's up to these days. Brian's random Asian wife. But anyways, so yeah, busy days are great because like the day flew by. I got free pizza in the middle of the day, and then I got my train home. And this is a week I don't have to go in a second day. So suck on that, Dune. I'm working from home tomorrow as a productive member of the company I work for. I think Dune sent me something relating to working from home recently. Let me check my messages. I seem to recall Dune sending me something. But no, that's not Dune. Someone named Kayla sent me a message. I have no idea who that is. Probably a scammer. Let's see. Here it is.
What do you mean?
It's 10 o'clock.
That's when you guys start?
No, we started at 8.
8 every day?
Oh, this is I guess this is like the new generation reacting to returning to the office. So yeah, I'll have to let's see if I can refresh this and start this from the thing I hate about Instagram video posts is they automatically start muted, and when you unmute it, they don't give you an easy way to restart. So you always have to let it loop through and then see the beginning on the second viewing.
Right. Right.
All right. So here's the thing that let me bring it up here. Here's the thing that Brian shared with me.
What do you mean?
It's 10 o'clock.
That's when you guys start?
No, we started at 8.
8 every day?
Yeah, a.m.
Believe it or not, there was so many cars coming in.
Yeah, it's called traffic.
How long have you guys been doing this for?
Like 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah.
Of coming here every day?
Yeah,
Give
it's
or
called
take,
work,
yeah.
dude.
What's for you doing lunch? Is there lunch here today?
Did you bring
your
your
own
lunch?
I thought like there was like a pizza or something. All right, well we can go get some. You guys hungry?
You just got here. Yeah, I'm leaving.
What the hell, man?
I gotta tell you, I so see Dune being that guy on the other side. Yeah, that's called traffic. Every day for like 30 years, man. It's called work, and I totally feel that guy's energy of like, you come here every day, like, yes, it's called work. Come here every day. I've been there. I've done that, but I also see the world that we live in. That it's a totally fair question to go, really? You guys are still doing this? We all come here every day? Like, we got the technology that you could do this from home, right? Like, we don't have to live like this we don't need to be creating traffic jams to sit someplace else that's not at home to do the same things that we could just as easily do without sitting in traffic and creating traffic jams. Now, Sparky writes in, did you see the PM I sent you, the Brewster's dial-up video? I think I saw something come through, but I was like, oh, I'll have to check back. Let's see, that's got the chat up. Let me see what Sparky sent me. I'm not logged in. Twitch keeps fucking signing me out, and I want it to keep me signed in. Let's see. There we go. Sparky. Party like it's. Oh, so yeah, this is really cool. Let me see if I can get. Problem. I need to shrink that down so I can actually look at that. There we go. It's some kind of a vintage computer timeline morphing type of video showing. I don't know if that's the one you're referencing. Or let's see. You might like this. Let's see what the YouTube thing is. This one's the dial-up thing. Let's start with that. I don't remember what it is, but I remember liking it. So maybe I'll like it just as much the second time. That's the wrong button. All right, here we go. Brewster dial-up. There we go.
All right. Now, when I was growing up, the internet was still very much in its infancy. Being a kid at that time, I had no idea what the internet even was. What? The internet? Who the hell's the internet? It wasn't until one day I was in school in the computer lab, and I watched a kid bypass the firewall and look up cheat codes for the Sony PlayStation. Well, holy hell, after that, I was hooked. I mean, sure, it was dial-up back then, and it took 47 minutes to navigate 3 web pages, but I'll be damned, that kid unlocked Sweet Tooth on Twisted Metal 2. If that's what the internet had to offer, sign me up. So I started hoarding all those AOL trial CDs that they'd send you in the mail like some kind of maniac. I got 40,000 hours of free internet. Nothing can stop me now. But that didn't make a difference because our computer at home was old as hell. I mean, the thing was built when the fucking flock of seagulls were popular.
Yeah,
Didn't
same.
have a web browser or Microsoft Paint or that sweet-ass Space Cadet pinball game that everybody blew ass at. No. There's just a fucking DOS prompt screen blinking you in the face. Nobody in my whole household knows how to use the damn thing. How do I make the fun things pop up on the screen? Oh, I don't know. What the fuck do I look like, a scientist? I'm afraid of that goddamn thing. Turn it off. So for the most part, our computer was just stuck in the corner of our dining room, basically a piece of furniture at this point. Well, damn, looks like I don't get the internet after all. But that's alright, because my friend David had a computer, and unlike my flock of seagull piece of shit, his was made much more recently, like circa Lou Bega Mambo number 5 time.
The trumpet!
And what was even better is his ass had Roller Coaster Tycoon. And back then, Roller Coaster
Nice.
Tycoon was bigger than Bill Clinton. Everybody in the goddamn neighborhood would go over to David's house and play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Hell, David didn't even exist to us as a person back then. We'd all be hanging out in the front yard like, hey, wanna go over to Roller Coaster Tycoon's house? Oh, you bet your ass I do. Hey, do you guys want to go jump on the trampoline or something? No, piss off. We're drowning people in the lake and shooting people off the shuttle loop. But as great as Roller Coaster Tycoon was, it was a total game changer when David's mom got dial-up internet at his house. And I remember that weekend very vividly, because that was the weekend that me and Michael stayed the night at David's house and pirated a bunch of music off the internet. As soon as David's mom went to bed, David looked at us and was like, have you guys ever heard of Napster.com? Napster.com? What the hell's that? What if I told you that we could have, in our possession, every Limp Bizkit and Weird Al Yankovic song known to man? Get the fuck out of here. Even the Nookie? Yes, even the Nookie. Oh my god, I can't fucking believe it. So our asses hop on David's blazing fast 96K modem. Holy hell, why does your computer sound like fucking R2-D2 having a stroke? Oh, that's just the sound the internet makes. What the hell is that, the Russians? Are the Russians attacking? Now, our little asses stole so much music that night, Metallica to this day is probably still looking for a kid in a Scottie Pippen jersey to serve a subpoena to. And sure, it took 45 minutes for a single song to download, but that didn't keep us from downloading like every WWF entrance music known to man. What a glorious time it was. And I wish it would have stayed that way. But things decide to get a little weird when Michael decides to log into an AOL chat room. I know what you're thinking. What's the worst that could happen with a bunch of children talking to a bunch of random strangers on the internet at 3 in the morning? Well, let me tell you. First off, Michael does what any 8-year-old would do on the internet. He tells everybody that he's a 22-year-old woman. Fuck it, why not? Let's go for it. I'm a 22-year-old big booty woman, and I'm looking for big booty bitches to talk to. Michael, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to talk to big booty bitches. What does it look like? I think it's safe to say that nobody was fooled in that chat room. I mean, for one, you got Michael's broken ass 2nd grade spelling. And for two, we're under David's mom's screen name. And that math sure as hell doesn't add up. Boy, this Butterfly Kisses 1964 either sucks at math or is a fucking 2nd grader. I guess I'll take my chances. So all of a sudden, we start getting instant messages left and right. David starts freaking out at this point. Dude, just turn it off. My mom's gonna kill us. No way, dude. I'm talking to big booty bitches. Look at this chick's trying to send me a picture right now. We look over, and sure as hell, there's a picture slowly loading. Y'all ready to see some big booty bitches or what? Well, finally, this picture loads, and it's safe to say it's not a big booty bitch. Instead, it's a grown-ass man licking a fucking egg beater. Ah, sick! What the hell is that? Turn it off! Turn it off! Now, to this day, I have no idea who that guy was or what kind of fucking weird fetish he had with his kitchen. All I knew is that I was done with the internet for the night. Okay, that's enough of that shit. You want to go play Sony PlayStation? Yeah, let's go play Sony PlayStation. And that was the end of it. Or at least that was the end of it for me and David. Michael, on the other hand, decided to keep on exploring the wondrous wonders of the World Wide Web. Who knows what the hell that 8-year-old was exposed to that night. All I know is the next morning, we're sitting there eating toaster strudels. Michael's over there looking like he just fucking stormed the beaches of Normandy. Do you guys know if it's possible to unsee things that you've already saw? I have so many questions and so few answers. Well, imagine our surprise when David's mom gets up and she sees a bunch of pop-ups littered all over a computer screen. Boys, get your asses in here right now. Why does my computer have AIDS all of a sudden? And who Googled big booty bitches 47 times?
Brewstew.com.
That's funny.
Yeah. Truth, man. Bigbooty.bitches.com.
Early internet. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that AOL Messenger sound was taking me back. I miss AOL Messenger.
What was were you using dial-up modem up at the beginning?
I probably had seen the dial-up modem in action, but my first use of internet was when I got to college and connected my computer to a T1 connection. So I was spoiled right from the start.
Oh man.
Now, when I would go home for the summer, it was dial-up. So it kind of sucks to go from a T1 to
how
dial-up.
fast was your modem? 9600?
I think 56 was the fastest you can get on a single telephone line.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah.
Now Zoe writes in, not real. No mother in those days knew what the history button was. Now,
exactly.
when I worked in the office of the garbage company, at some point they set up all the computers to have internet to be on the network to network into the work stuff, and a result of this was that, and this sounds like, well, duh, but this was like holy shit moment, was when they hooked up all the computer systems to be on the internet. And so I sit at a desk and I open up a browser and a web page loads and I'm like, holy shit, all these work computers go onto the internet. Because before that, the desks had like terminals that were like green text, and only like executives had a PC in their office, which would have a dial-up modem that would only connect to the internet when they had to do something with work requiring sending an occasional email or acquiring a file, but they wouldn't even dial up all day long. They would only dial up occasional. So at some point they took out these green screen terminals, they put in all these PCs, they set up this network, and all the computers have internet, and all the ladies working in the office floor there had no clue that they had internet. And so I bring up a web browser, and on my lunch break I do a little reading on the internet, and then I close it. But at some point, I used to still. This was during a period of time that I was still friends with people on the Sailor Moon chat room on Undernet, and so I was able to tell the Telnet server that my college email was on also had a text-based IRC client on there that I could run commands to go into the IRC, tell it to join a server, and join a text chat room from a Telnet window. So that's how, while working a summer job in the office, I was able to kind of bring up a little, chat window and be able to send a little chat message to my friends here and there while working. So I'm working, and president of the company comes up to my computer and sees this window with this weird chat going by, starts reading it out loud, and they're talking about weird things, and I'm just like, oh God. And but he's like having a laugh about it. But then afterwards, I'm walking by and he's like, hey, could you not do that on the work computers? Like, I don't know who's tracking what. Just don't do that shit on the work computers, okay? I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. So I go back, I close the chat window. Lunch break comes up. I still browse a few things. And mind you, this was my last week working for this company. It's the end of summer. I'm getting ready to go back to school. So I'm like, what? Fuck that. I'm browsing the internet on my lunch break. I don't care what the president of the company personally told me. What he don't know won't hurt him. And what's he going to do? Fire me on my last day? Well, he didn't fire me, but he did pull me into his office. Because I come in my last day of work. I come to my desk. I turned on my computer screen. The computer browser history was left up on the screen for me to see that it was brought up with all the websites I went to. So president of the company decided to check up on my history. And so he comes in. He's like, you see that thing I left up on your screen? I'm like, yeah. He's like, follow me. And he's like, look, I know, your last day here, he kind of had some kind of like integrity and whatever. And, you could get this company in trouble. It's funny what a big fuss and a big deal they made about, oh my God, you browsed the internet on a work computer?
Woohoo.
It was a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, when they discovered this, the first time they discovered I was browsing the internet, he had them send a memo around to everyone, letting them know it's come to our attention, because like even the president of the company didn't realize that when they put this in, they put internet on all the computers. So when he found this out from seeing me doing it, he had them send a memo to everyone, letting everyone know it's come to our attention that the internet's available on your computers. We ask that you follow our company policy of not using that. Or something. Because there was no reason that anyone on those work levels would need to do anything. They didn't have email accounts or things like that. It was just that every computer was set up with that. It was like, what the fuck are they doing, giving all my employees internet? It was a different world. But yeah, I remember I had a dial-up modem that I would use in the summer, but I had to buy a T1 network card to add to my computer to get on the college's T1 network, and it was like $100 at least to buy it. And then like a year later, I had to replace it, and it was like $20. I was like, the fuck? Did I get ripped off? Like,
and it was faster.
Like there was a period of time that it just like over the course of a year was like, yeah. Just completely.
Well, that was the interesting thing, is that as things got faster,
yeah, they
also got cheaper. Like, oh, cool.
Sparky asking if I have 1 gig service. I have high speed cable. Fiber's not available at my address. Xfinity is the only game in town at my address, unfortunately. But I did get them to reduce my bill from $160 a month to $85 a month. And I still have 1 gig speed. Zoe wants to post a link. Yeah, go ahead, Zoe. Please post a link. So Zoe's going to post a link here, and then we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. The really big shoe is, and we're going to bring out the plate spinner to do his act next. No, we'll find someone to raid is what we'll do. So while Zoe's getting her link ready, though, we should think about what we've done here today, and maybe think about some of our life decisions. No, no, but we want to thank everyone here for joining in for another fun-filled week of
Insert title here.
But we do try to be educational here. And so, Brian, what have you learned here this week?
The reminiscing of the good old time on the internet was fun.
Yes. And I've learned that,
Oh, it was a brick. I just pulled up Zoe's image.
yeah, Zoe shared an image of a brick, apparently. Let me click on that link. And, oh, yeah, well, now, that's one of those things that you actually dock the phone into.
Right.
Like from war games.
It was mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That is quite the brick.
Those
That's-
were real.
Yeah. Sparky learned Johnny got his sock ready one night and never got to use it.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
man. Zoe's got that brick sitting in her garage right now. That's great. What have I learned here tonight? I've learned.
Some computer museum really wants that thing.
Oh, I learned. I learned that sometimes when I think on my feet, I can improv a real funny scenario justifying basketball analogies to tossing salad.
Right.
I also learned
At
that
least you didn't toss your cookies.
toss your cookies. And I learned that Brian has no idea what a rim job is. So on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here tonight. We're going to go find someone to raid is what we're going to do. And heck, we might even have enough people to raid our favorite channel to raid, which is it live right now?
Tired actor?
Tired Actor. Tired Actor is live right now. I think we rated her last week, though. But I'm not seeing...
Oops, we're quickly down to 4.
Oh, darn.
Well, we could try it.
We could try
after
it.
all, we only had a few last time.
4 might work. 4 might be good enough. So let me do a little refresh.
And then
here.
up to 6. Woohoo!
All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna raid Tired Actor again because she learned what happens if you park your horse next to train tracks. Is your horse will get run over by a train, and then you'll have to revive it back to life. Is what she learned. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead. We're going to raid. Oh yes, she let us raid. Woohoo!
Yay!
All right, you all have a good night. We'll be back next week. See ya.
Fantastic. Have a good one.
We've raided.
All right,
All right.
vote in the poll. There is a poll. What do you
See ya.
do?
Catch